This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Marney listed. I can't do Tyrone.
We should do a countdown for that day. 28, how many?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 days. 5 and a wake up.
Whoa.
Hot damn. 28th of November. The year is 2020. Of the Lord. Technically, it's like 5 years after, though, he was born. Just throwing that out there. Could be 6. It's roughly. It's 217 Recovery Podcast. My name is Corey Winfield. Marney Liston.
Hello.
And yeah, we're excited. Tyrone hopefully will be here to cut your name because Tyrone's the voice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And how Tyrone became the voice guy was very funny and very interesting. I was reaching out to my friend Renee, who I had worked with in Dallas, and he has like this big, booming voice, and I thought, man, that'd be perfect. So I reach out to him, and he's like, "Hey, man, just had like brain surgery. Can you give me a week?" I was like, "Are you gonna be okay?" You know, like I feel like an ass. I haven't talked to you in a couple years, and now I'm reaching out and brain surgery, and yeah, I should be fine a couple weeks now. And then like an even bigger ass. A couple weeks later, I'm like, "Hey, man, did you get those lines I sent you like, to cut for me to send them back so I can do the intro stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah, sorry, man. This recouping stuff's really hard."
Cut the guy a break.
Like, well, are you going to do it or not, Renee?
Oh, my gosh.
No, I was like, oh, man, I got to stop asking him. I felt like such an idiot. And so Tyrone had been walking around, and we thought it would be funny because Tyrone's just a funny man. And the things that would come out of his mouth, like,
Man,
like that right there was actually recorded in a conversation. He didn't know we were recording. I just put the microphone up and was like, all right, I'm just going to record. And the things he said, and I don't know where it's at, the bus stop one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least in Detroit, we got bus stop. I don't know, I deleted it apparently out of the whole system. But yeah, it's pretty funny, stuff like that. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, hey, with a little coaching, I think Tyrone could do it. And I think you've heard some of the stuff.
I did. I heard when he was doing his, how would you call that? If he was, like, what would you
doing
call
his session.
Yeah, his session.
I had to coach him up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because he kept messing it up. And like he would get the whole thing perfect. And then instead of podcast, he'd say broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be like, what the hell is it then? It's a podcast. Okay. And so I would, coach him on, the voice inflection. And I don't know. He did pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked with a lot worse people who actually were getting paid to do it.
Well, and Tyrone is just the kind of guy that just puts a smile on your face.
Mm-hmm.
He's so sweet, and he's just a funny guy. Yep, that's it. That's it.
And Tyrone was the first person we had a shirt, like we have a face of Tyrone. And I started making the shirts, and he's like, I want one. Okay. So, like, I'm making Tyrone shirts with his face on it, and he's wearing them around town. People were like, wait, is that you? And he's like, yep, that's me.
Yeah.
Huh. So you're wearing a shirt with your face on it. He's like, yep. He started just laughing.
He probably said something like, Corey Winfield made it for me.
217.
Mm-hmm.
But no, those shirts, they would actually be pretty popular if we wanted to sell them. But I don't know. I don't think that would be fair for Tyrone.
Right.
We just kind of give them to people that are close to us.
I have one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tyrone's great. So yeah, hopefully next week we'll see how that works out. And then 2 weeks from now, we're getting married. That's crazy.
I know.
If you've ever been married before, do you remember what it was like 2 weeks before your wedding?
No, I don't.
No, I'm saying, like, someone's listening and they're married. And
I thought you were asking me.
I'll give them a minute just to kind of think back of how hectic it was or nervous they were or what was going on. Was the mother-in-law being crazy or were you having second thoughts?
No, I think it's going to be smooth sailing. Honestly.
I think so, but I'm starting to get to that point where it's like, because right now, today, like 2 weeks from right now, we will be officially married.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's great.
I know, but that's crazy. What are we doing?
Man.
Thanks, Tyrone.
But yeah, so those feelings are coming up. And those are really good feelings. So those aren't feelings that make me think, oh, I need to go drink. This is the new life. This is the new chapter that being sober brings to us. Mm-hmm. We can actually get out there and meet people and actually like people for who they are, like we like ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to change you. You're not trying to change me. We're very accepting of each other. So I don't know. It just works. But obviously, if we were living the old lifestyle, we wouldn't have ever even have met. And just how great life is now. I mean, I could say it over and over and over. And people who have been there, people that have some sobriety under their belt, they know what I'm talking about. My 2 years is coming up next month, 3 days after the wedding. A couple weeks from that, too. And the first year, the second year has been different. The first year it was just getting to that year and learning new ways to live and how to act and deal with situations. There was a situation I had to deal with. I've been dealing with it for about a month or so now, and it's really been weighing on me. And I've been getting worked up, and I've spent way too much time on it. And I think a week or two ago, maybe I talked about it on the podcast where I said I'm gonna look at this in 3 months from now and just go, remember when I was all tripping over that? Oh, yeah. But the time and energy I've spent thinking about this has just been insane. And then I finally came to a decision of, okay, what can I control about the situation? And I didn't drink. Mm-hmm. I could have drank and be like, oh man, those people, oh man, they made me drink. They did me wrong. They did me dirty. They made me drink. But I'm not a baby. I'm not a kid. And I chose to not drink. I chose to do what I can control. And that was, what I had to do. And I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but I just kind of removed myself from a situation that, I think is a good thing. And down the road, it's going to be great. And I did it with a little bit of class. Mm-hmm. And, nobody was hurt.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to go back on anything that I was feeling any kind of way about. And I think it was good. So that's how I handle that situation. And that's how I do things now. Now, every situation I don't handle perfect. But that one, like I said, was really weighing on me. And I was listening to Steve Harvey. He does a radio show out of Atlanta. Steve Harvey does everything. And he has like a little podcast, which if you can stick through the horrible commercials that it starts out with, he does like 5-10 minutes of like inspirational stuff. And it was really, really good. And the other day he was talking about that. He's like, you could be stuck in your problem and you could try to, go around, run, tell everybody how you were wronged and, try to justify yourself over and over and over and over. But that doesn't do you any good. He's like, just give it to God and move on. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. And then, boom, everything still kind of circled back around to where everything worked out perfect, so far. And I remember I was thinking when I heard that too, I was like, yeah, I got to go back and read his book, Jump Again, and I think I even said to you that, I just need to jump. I need to just jump. Mm-hmm. And that's a reference to like, if you were to jump off a cliff, that God would catch you. Mm-hmm. You have to trust in God. You can't just sit there on the cliff hoping for something to change. You're going to have to make a move. And, that's what I did. And I remember I prayed and said, God, I'll give it to you and I'm jumping, catch me. Mm-hmm. But so that's not how I planned to open the show, but I did. I jumped. Was there something else in there that I was going to talk about? Do you remember? Because you can read my mind.
No, I can't.
You want to talk about that some more?
No, I can't. But I will say that the decisions that you said you were stewing over, I think that you did come to the resolution that you should have consciously and with a lot of, processing and kind of weighing out the pros and cons. And you're right. Like, I feel the same way. How I deal with issues and decision making is way more thought out and way more in depth than it was. I mean, I was so impulsive and just off the cuff, like what made sense to me right at the moment. No real thought put into repercussions or, the aftermath or the destruction or, whatever the case may be. It was just like, what makes sense to me right at this moment. And I was never in the best state of mind either. So that puts all of that together into a big pot. And yeah, so to be grateful today, to be able to say that, you can be pretty sure that the decision that you made was the right one. And, that God kind of paved the way for what was supposed to happen, I feel.
And I feel a lot, just personally, I feel just better being removed from the situation and kind of I feel relieved the way it went. And I don't know, it was good. I think it was a good decision. And the fact that I could think about it, and, I was thinking too negatively about it, but that's how I felt.
Well, I think one piece I want to put in here is because these people we're talking so beating around the bush here that people are not really know what's going on. But really, just to break it down, is that you really need to be conscious of making decisions of what's good for you and in your life at the moment. How is it that how are you preparing your life for your daily, day-to-day things that you do, that you're getting the most out of you and being the best you that you can be. And that includes places that you go, people that you're with, jobs that you have, all those things. So sometimes just sit down and reevaluate, like, is this making me happy? Is this what I want to do? Is this making me move forward in who I am and who I want to be? Mm-hmm. And if the answer is, I don't know, then, you're in a situation such as yourself, and you really kind of had to lay things out and figure out what's what for you and what's best for you, and then kind of make some changes and adjustments. And you did that, and I'm proud of you.
Well, I mean, everybody that's helped me the past, year and 11 and a half months, everybody that's been a part of that, this is the change that you want to make, and these are the changes that I wanted to make. And these are the decisions that I'm comfortable making now. Even if you have to think about it for a while, but that's fine. At least you're thinking about it. But yeah, you're right, Marnie. If you put yourself in those situations to where you're doing something, or you're going to a place of employment you just don't like, or you're going to your friend's house and you don't really want to, you're putting yourself in situations that you don't want to really be in, but you're doing it to make others happy, or because you think you need to. If you're making $200,000 a year, let's just throw that out there, and you go to work every day and you hate it. When you come home, you feel like you have to have that drink. Well, maybe you need to switch jobs. Whoa, Corey, hold on. I have family, wife, kids, lose the house. Well,
you'll lose all that stuff too.
If you're drinking anyway all the time, and people have noticed, and you're just not, you're going to lose it anyway. So sell it now and figure out other plans. It doesn't have to happen overnight. Most likely it won't. But just start making those changes. And if you're in early recovery and you're just like, man, I hate this job, I hate the people I work with. Well, what can you control about that situation? Maybe you hate the type of work you do. Maybe you're a plumber. I don't know. Maybe you love being a plumber. Who knows? But you just hate all the shit you have to deal with.
Wow, that was bad.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm here all week. But it's very important, though, that you figure out if that stuff doesn't make you happy, or if it has you feeling some kind of way. You process those thoughts before you start drinking. And then like, that job makes, I have to drink. Don't that job. Being in radio is very stressful for me, and I used to use that excuse too. Like, you don't understand. I used to tell my mom, you don't understand the pressure I'm under every day. I'm doing 2 shows, 2 different markets, program director, promotions director, community relations guy, website, whatever. I was doing all these things. Oh yeah, and then I got a parade on Saturday, and then I got 2 remotes where I'm doing a broadcast, one from Fayetteville, and then I got to drive back to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and then I got to do another one. I just need a drink. That's what I would say, and I would justify it. And man, how much better life would have been if I wasn't drinking.